So a lot of people ask me this, and on my Instagram or email me, and I sit there and I'm typing up this long story that's literally ends up being like this long. That's just one part of it. And I'm just gonna go ahead, make a YouTube video, so if anyone asks me in the future, I can just copy and paste this so that you guys know. So by the title of this video, I will be talking about how my workout journey, because a lot of people are just so curious. They find out, that I was a D1 athlete, and I was very athletic growing up, and I went through this phase where I could not work out, and now I'm working out again at a very high level. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share the beginning to where I am now. So I was very athletic, and I was always playing sports, doing sports when I was growing up. It was, I started gymnastics when I was 10. That's when I started realizing my symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, but I wasn't diagnosed officially until I was 16. When I was about 15 or 14, I stopped gymnastics and I started running track and playing basketball. And I still was very high active. I was keeping up with everyone. I was diagnosed at 16, so during my junior year, or the beginning of my junior year was when I was diagnosed. But I still kept doing sports, still kept running track. I triple jumped, played basketball, was still doing everything. I got to college and I triple jumped on the team there, and I was able to do all the Olympic lifts. I was working out with them, and I was doing everything at their level. I didn't modify any types of workouts or nothing. However, once I got to my senior year of college was when my RA just ramped up. I wasn't responding to my medication that I was taking any longer, or I wasn't responding to my medication that I was taking anymore. And I honestly I stopped working out for about a year. Yeah, it was about a year that I could not work out because I was in that much pain. And so this is when I started to find out, okay, how am I going to get back working out? So the first step that I had to do was find a medication that was going to work great for me. And this is really important because you can't work out if you're in pain. And so I needed to find a medication that was going to keep my RA at a certain level so that I could get back to working out. So I found the medication, started back working out, and when I started working out again, I just ramped it up. I thought that I could go back to where I was, but maybe not squat, because my squat max got up to 230 pounds. So maybe not squat like that much, but maybe take off about 30 pounds of that max and go off of squatting 200. I was doing power cleans again. I was doing snatches. I just went back to thinking I was in college or something. And my RA told me, no ma'am, this is not what we're gonna do. So I flared up really, really, really bad. And it started this whole process of I couldn't work out 2 days in a row. And that was bothering me so much. So I just had to have a moment with myself of, okay, you're not at the level that you once was, and that's 100% okay. But that doesn't mean we can't get back to that level again. But we just have to start really slow. So during this time, I go ahead and I'm studying to get a certification as an exercise physiologist, and I was learning how to prescribe exercise to various amounts of people, young, old, people with illnesses, arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's, just everything in between. So it was during this where I really started to learn, okay, this is the approach that I should be taking. So what I did to get back to where I am now is I started out just doing workouts with a band, a workout band. And so I thought it was very basic. It was so simple to me because I wasn't used to that. But I just started out with that. Every workout that I used to do with weights, I just did it with the bands. So I set up this little exercise program, and I would work with the same band, so the same color, with each exercise for 4 weeks. It was a cycle of 4 weeks. And I would do that, and then I would up to the higher color band, or the band that has more resistance. And so I would then increase my band and I would do that again for another 4 weeks. And I thought it was taking, it was taking forever, and I thought that it was very slow. But the difference is that I was building muscle. And when you build muscle, you're taking pressure off of your joints. However, with rheumatoid arthritis, we have to build muscle gradually, because if we start trying to build muscle aggressively, our muscle isn't strong enough yet, so that is just putting way too much stress on our joints. So I think I went through this whole band, increasing bands. I went up 6 colors, so it took me 6 months. Then once I got to the highest color band, I then started implementing free weights. So I started with dumbbells, and I started at 5 pounds. Yep, started at 5 pounds, and every 4 weeks, I was still doing 5 pounds. Every single time I did arms, every time I did legs, I was only doing 5 pounds. And I was slowly increasing that. Then with each 4-week cycle that happened, I increased by 5 pounds until I got to a point where I was actually as strong as I once was. So once I got to that level, then that's when I actually got to start tweaking my exercise routine, and I could lift moderately week 1, but then week 2, I could do less reps and increase the weight. And then week 3, less reps, increase the weight. And then week 4, I could do very minimal reps and very, very high weight, like what I was doing in college. So I would say, honestly, until I got back to really lifting heavy was about a year. So it was long. And my squat max now has gotten back to 215. And so I have not reached 230 yet, but I know I will. And so I just want y'all to be encouraged that it does take a long time. I know you see my videos now of me working out, and it's just, whoa, it feels like it happened overnight, but it definitely didn't, and it took a long process. And I did the same with my cardio. So I started out with walks. I don't really like to swim, but some people do that and can start out with swimming, but I don't like to swim. So I started out with walking, then I started to bike, and then I started to do the elliptical, and then I started running again. And then I started doing stadiums and sprints. And so it was just very, very, very gradual. And it's, honestly, it is what has worked for me. And with any other individual that I've realized that works out have said that they had to start back slow. And I know that that is a big deal, because a lot of you guys that I talk to are athletes, and y'all were very, very, very high level athletes. Some is just crazy how high level many of y'all are. But it is frustrating to know that, oh, my body, I once could do this and now I can't. But it's totally fine. It is a process, and you get to look back on the journey and just be thankful for it. So I just wanted to share that. And I know this was a little long, but I hope that it answers any questions. And if you have any more, then definitely reach out to me. So I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Goodbye.